to another episode of From the Shadows. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do drop a like on the video. Now, in the last episode, we got off to what I would consider to not be the best start, really. I genuinely thought if we could beat Amiens on the opening day of the season, it would give us a real platform with which to sort of springboard ourselves into the season. But it wasn't to be, and sometimes that's just happening. Before we get into today's episode, a couple of things. Firstly, thank you. I know I did this on, well, you'll see this on tonight's episode as well, but I recorded it earlier. So yeah, just one of those things. Seriously, thank you to everyone, because we hit 7,000 subs on Sunday, and it's obviously Tuesday when you're seeing this now, but it's Monday when I'm recording it. Amazing. Seriously, thank you so much. As I always say, like, it's everyone I get is one more than I ever expected to get, so it's genuinely awesome, so thank you. Also, apologies that I get a bit lax when replying to comments over the weekends. It's just, it's the weekend and it's a little bit more difficult to do, but I do try and make sure I always get back to them, and I'm always trying to catch up on Monday, so hope you don't mind with that. Also, guys, I get questions about what skin I'm using. Not using a skin. Just, that is that. I don't use skins. It's as simple as that, really. I don't really know why I keep getting the questions, because I'm using the default game. I get, like, it's in 1080p, which means that you sometimes get extra panels, and I've got a panel mod which allows me to get bigger pictures, but they're not skins. I don't have any skins, so that's all there is basically on that one. A couple of things. I saw a comment about why I didn't, saying that I should have arranged a friendly with PSG. I'll tell you why I didn't. Because I don't want to be forcing those. I want the games that we play against PSG to actually mean something. Therefore, I want to do them so that the game throws them up at us organically, rather than us trying to force the issue. That's why I'd rather do that, because it's a friendly, so you wouldn't see it anyway, and it wouldn't be full strength, and it just seems a bit naff. I don't know, I just think that I'd rather have the games that we play against PSG, I'd rather have every single one of them mean something. So yeah, it might be a few years before we get a chance to actually play them, but I think that means when we finally do get a chance to play them, it's going to mean that much more to us. And don't worry, you'll see pretty much every game we play against PSG. I think that's going to be one sort of theme of the series, is that I'll make sure that every single game we play against our rivals is a live com. I can't see any reason why that wouldn't happen, why that wouldn't be possible. If we had like a two-legged thing for some reason or whatever, then I would do both legs in the same episode or something. I don't know. So there you go. So we started off against Amiens. It was it wasn't a tough one. It should have been better, if I'm honest. We should have done better. And the next game, we had a real struggle. Playing away against the team that have just come down was always going to be an issue for us. And we didn't play that badly. As you can see, like, we still controlled the possession, but that doesn't always mean much. And actually took the lead through Ivan Antelek. And when we took the lead, I thought, oh my God. Because these guys, I think, were the best rated of the relegated teams last year. And they've started off this season like a bullet out of a gun, basically. And unfortunately, I thought that us starting like that was going to enable us to do that too, but unfortunately they came right back at us. Matthias Utrecht levelled for them on 15 minutes before Remy Mulumba with goals on 26 and 40 made it 3-1 by half time. And the second half we weren't too bad. It just, little changes, nothing really kind of clicked for us, and it just wasn't happening, which is a shame. But these are the sort of games that I wouldn't be expecting us to win anyway, but it was nice to see that we were sort of capable of at least putting in a solid performance in it. In our next match, we had it's a Coupe de la Ligue, which is the French League Cup, and unfortunately we were against Dijon and went out. It wasn't the best performance, as you can see. We were pretty poor here for all intents and purposes. We were pretty damn awful. Julio Tavares gave Dijon the lead on 60 minutes. It took them a while to break us down, but once they did, it just kind of went from bad to worse. I think the real turning point after that as well was when Ex-Shurgri went off, and he is going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks, which is not good at all, but it happened. Then Benjamin Sigris, it was an unfortunate own goal, is all I can say. It was just a poor one to concede, but they happen. Antelek did get one back for us, but we really didn't deserve it. As you can see, though, we still had a lot of possession in this game, and the pass completion was still very solid. So I feel like we're doing okay. We just need to be a little bit more clinical when our chances come, and we'll do well. Next up, we finally got a game where we actually did well, and frankly, we weren't even that good in this one. It wasn't one of those ones where we were that emphatic. We couldn't create that many chances. Colmar set up with a weird sort of diamond, like the entire system was almost like the Christmas Tree of Doom, but much more narrow. And I did not like playing against him. But thankfully, Quintin Pereira got the ball on the edge of the box and just drilled it low and hard and gave us the win. And this is what I wanted to see from us against Amiens on the opening day. Winning games against the likes of Colmar and Amiens are going to be crucial in keeping us up. Now, obviously, with the board expectations, we're expected to do more than that. And that is a worry for me. It is, because we're massively in debt still. But I think over the course of this year, if we can stay up, the debt will slowly ease itself off, because the money's coming in from TV rights now, and we're not losing money. We're actually slowly starting to gain that money back. So I think over the course of the next season or two, we will manage to get ourselves back into the white. And when that happens, that's when we can really start taking this one forward, because we'll be able to sign players on transfer fees, and I can really do what I like. Because, you know, I'm quite good at wheeling and dealing, but with free transfers, it's a little bit more limited what you can do, and I've done the best I can, of course. But once we've got some real money coming in that we can use for real transfer fees, then I feel that we can really start to build this team, and one that's going to develop for the future and be a really solid team to try and challenge, basically. But as long as the board don't start rushing my expectations, that's what I really don't want. And but what I mean by that is, where if we just about manage to achieve this really unrealistic expectation this year, I don't want next season them to be expecting us to be promoted without giving us any more money, because that would really suck, actually, because that could potentially ruin this entire series if that's the case, if they keep setting ridiculous expectations that we're never going to complete, because I could get sacked even if we're doing really well, and I'd really not like that. I've only been sacked once during one of these saves, obviously in Outcast to Icons. It's happened before, but with St. Pauli that happened, and that was kind of understandable, but it just... that would be annoying if that was to happen. Let's hope that isn't the case. I really, really hope that they won't mind if we fall a little bit short of that this season, to be honest, because I really don't think... I think mid-table is a bit much for us. I think we'll probably be able to come something like 14th, maybe. Because I think that's where we were predicted to finish. So I'm hoping that will do. I don't know whether... I think that's... Does that count mid-table? Do you have to come like 10th to get that? I don't know. Anyway... So a 1-0 win over Colmar was just so massively important for us. So... in our next match, we went away to Dijon again, and I was kind of worried, but in this one, we put in a really good shift, and I thought we were unlucky not to win there, if I'm honest. Like, Jordan Marie scored in the second minute. It was the first shot of the game, and he got the ball to the left-hand side of the penalty area, and there was two defenders, and he just seemed to clip it, and it just went straight into the top corner. I don't know what Seaguist was playing at, but he didn't get anywhere near it, if I'm honest, and it was a bit of a shitter. But... it was coming up to half-time, and I got the notification to say that Johan Via just picked up an injury. So I made the substitution, but I thought, right, there's another highlight here, and let's hope they don't score. But then, Johan Via, despite being injured, ran through and won us a penalty, which Elvis Saric dispatched, and made it 1-1. Now, as you can see from the stats in this one, we were definitely the better side, and maybe even should have won. And it's results like this that give me a lot more hope for us this year, if I'm honest. It's games where we play as well as this, away from home, that give me the real hope that this team has got comfortably enough in the tank to not only stay up, but do us proud, and maybe even come close to matching some of those season expectations. Who knows? It's going to be tough, but we're going to do our best, and hopefully we can start bringing through some youth players. And, you know, the main plan when we get some money is I want to try and sign players that we've got lots of potential to survive with. And you might notice that I don't go after the usual sort of I just don't like signing the same old players that everybody else signs, just because I just find it makes the series boring. What do you have to gain from watching me sign the same old players that everyone else that plays FM? What's the point? That's why I don't like to do that. I like to try and find not hidden gems myself, because obviously everyone knows about them if they're real players, but that's why I particularly like trying to sign regens, because then you don't know what they're going to be like, and that's why I love that type of... that's one of my favourite things about FM, and that's just the way I play the game. So then don't be surprised if you say, go sign this player, and I don't, because I don't... you know, it kind of spoils the illusion a little bit if you know they're going to be awesome. I like to sort of be a little bit more in the blind about it, I guess. So, anyway, that brings us to today, and we've got a home game against Valenciennes, and we've got quite a few injuries, I must say. Didac is out, which is annoying. He's not out for too long, but he's going to miss a few weeks, which is a pain. Thankfully, we've got plenty of players to come in, so it's not too bad. I've had to release a few more of our non-contract players because they were starting to complain, and I just, got rid of them instead of any hassle, basically. There's no point in dealing with that. We may as well just get rid. That way I can bring some more players in with some talent and sign them on actual contracts when I want them, basically, and be a little bit more picky about it. So, we've actually only lost one of our first 4 league games, which isn't bad. So let's take a quick gander at the squad. Top goal scorer at the moment is Ivan Antelek with 2. We're not exactly banging the goals in, and that's something we do need to sort of change if we can. And as for assists, Villa has actually got himself 2. Admittedly, one of them was winning the penalty, I think. Man of the match, Antelek and Pereira have 1 apiece, which is always nice. Average rating, Antelek again. He's doing a good job so far. Aerial challenges is, of course, Loic Puyol. Someone wanted to see what club Loic Puyol used to play for, so I'm just going to quickly... I just remembered this, actually. There you go. He used to play for Sochaux. Key passes... 12 for Pereira. I mean, only 4 games in, so we'll yet to see who's really going to... but it's good to see Antelek's got so many of those. Key tackles, 1. Okay, not too bad, I guess. I'd like to see more of them. But I guess it shows that these systems don't really require much of that. And 64 interceptions for Puyol already. 1.3 million Didac is worth. So, hey, you never know. If the worst comes to the worst, we can always sell someone on and get a shitload of money. That's another method that we may have to use. So, let's get into this. They're actually technically below us in the league, but I feel like they're probably a better team than us. So we're currently 9th in the league. In fact, we didn't even show you the table. As you can see, Lorient, who we did lose to, our only defeat against in this league so far, they've won 4 out of 4 and scored 14 times. They're a good side. They're probably going to win this league at an absolute canter. At the bottom, Sochaux's struggling massively, as are Nantes and Metz. So, yeah, we're already 4 points clear of the relegation zone, and that's a good start. We're actually in a decent position for our season expectations, but I do feel that we're going to need to string some wins together at some point in this year. Now, a lot of the teams we've come up with so far have been a bit cagey games, and they've been playing very narrow tactics. Hang on, Latalik? Sorry, I thought that was Damien Latalik. Oh, God, those of you who watch my other series will know why I don't want that to be Damien Latalik. Anyway, right, so there we go. This should be interesting. Still only 1,800 tickets sold, but it's certainly a step up from what we were getting last year. So our season tickets have doubled. Our attendances generally are doubling. Right, let's see, actually, I'm not entirely sure. Tiakuro Keita is complaining, and the problem is I've heard that he's a really good player, but there's no point in me keeping him at the club because we don't play a system that uses loads of wide men. We're going to need to put one of these guys on the bench, surely. I'm going to put Kante on. We've still got the issue as well is because we've transitioned over to being a professional side, it's made it slightly more difficult for us because we don't have the match fitness there yet, and a lot of our squad is still building that match fitness up by playing those reserve games. Now that we actually can schedule reserve games during the week, so it's getting there. It's going to be a bit of a tough first season for us, just because of the fact that we've made the transition from semi-professional to professional. I just noticed that Valenciennes has filled his circle, and we're the favourites here, and the media disagree. Okay, interesting. I feel like this should be a win, but I just don't know. They're playing a very wide tactic, but that means they're going to leave gaps in the middle. But we've got gaps out wide. It is very, very tough to say. But the last performance against Dijon gave me a lot of positive things to think about, I must say. It made me feel much, much better about the way things are going. Like, when we lost that game against Lorient, because I wasn't sure where they were in regard to the league and their sort of stature, I thought it was a poor result. But in fact, it wasn't too bad. So, let's see. I'd like to put in a solid performance against them, but it could still be a tough one. Let's close down Navio. They've started all right. We've started well. We're having a few... Oh, God, no, please don't concede loads of goals from corners. Abria, oh, they've scored from a set piece. Guys, come on now. We're better than this. We're not a set piece conceding team. Possession's a bit 50-50 at the moment, as is pass completion. Well, not 50-50, but you know what I mean, in terms of it's very even. That's not good. They've started well. I just don't really want to concede goals from corners like that. But then I guess you always need set-piece goals just from time to time. I've yet to find a way to prevent it from happening. Annoyed that he managed to bring the ball down and get the shot away whilst ghosting. Not ghosting, ice skating to the right. A little bit shitty. What can we do? We've had a few shots, but not too many from long range, or no more than they've had. Sorry, apologies for that, guys. It hasn't been good enough, but we've not actually been that bad. Like, it's not like they're dominating us. They've scored a goal from a set piece. We've not had anything that resembles a chance, clearly. Well, certainly not as the game would consider it. But we're not looking awful. I think we just need to sort of persist with the tactic, have faith in the philosophy that this club plays, but it's a home game and it's important that we do try to take points at home because that's going to be our sort of saviour. We'll close him down then. Here we go. Saric with the ball in Gamiet, and it's going to fly away here, but can Saric pick out a pass here? Goes back. We're going to play it a little bit more possession style rather than just lumping this here. Musavu King, don't lose the ball here though. Pereira, can he pick a pass out? Gape, Antelek. There's no real runners being made. We need to just keep the ball a little bit longer until some players can get back into their more regular positions and we can start playing it around quite nicely. It's very congested in the middle there, so that could make it quite difficult, but if we can string a couple of passes together, like we're doing right now, and pull some of their players out of position a little bit like this, free up a couple of players, it might just be enough for us. Antelek, please don't just be a long shot. He's gone through here. Great strike. Saric on the rebound, and it is 1-1 here. That is a great piece of play. The possession in the build-up to that goal is delightful to watch. One of the things I really like about this tactic is some of the midfield possession football we play is great. Antelek skins his man here. A little bit unlucky, maybe, the defender. Goes for the strike. Saric on the rebound. He's miles onside, and that's his second goal in 2 matches there for Dino Saric. Not Dino. Elvis Saric, what was I talking about? It's Dino Did... No, not Dino Didac. It's Didac. Diarra, and oh... Why did he leave... I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused as to why the defender just left that, but hey, we'll take it. I'm just going to hold off a little bit on subs, just in case we get any injuries. Right, okay, I'm going to make it now anyway. Who's looking knackered? Saric is one of them. Ojun Bai, he's my man. He's not fully match fit yet, so that's an issue, but... Musavu King's doing very well. Gamiet might have to come. I'm going to have to make those 2 changes, yeah. Gamiet is a great player, but looking at this, like, I know some players might have had worse games, but sometimes it's best to just... I'd rather keep a player on the pitch that's playing slightly worse than risk an injury to a player that's really important for me. That's kind of the way I like to look at things. Another draw wouldn't be ideal, but it would be better than a defeat. This is what I mean. We're actually playing quite well in these games. We just need a little bit more goal-scoring firepower. Balion is not looking good, but... we just don't really have the back. I thought I sorted out the bench. I'm going to bring on Kante for this last little bit, because Antelek hasn't been spectacular. And I wonder if Kante, because he does look to have a bit of potential, until Sokrier is fit again, he looks like he's going to be our number 2. We're looking all right today. And Valenciennes aren't a bad side themselves. Oh, hello. Go on. Oh, no, this game's done, isn't it? Cantini. And it's cleared. Oh, Kante with the strike. Oh, what a chance. That could have been one. Oh, there we go. Another draw. We've had a lot of draws so far this season, but we're looking better. We've come back well. I think Valenciennes are a better team than that would make out. It's another point on the board for us, which keeps us in mid-table. We do need to start picking up some wins, but at least we're not losing loads of games, and we're looking fairly decent at home against teams. We didn't do so well in the possession department, but at least we're looking okay. Need a little bit more firepower up front. I'm just wondering about Antelek at the moment, but maybe when Sokrier is back fit again, he will resume his role in the team, and as a result, that might give us a bit more firepower up front. Or once Ekshurgui's back and Ojun Bai get themselves fit again, I think we could be a little bit better once we get some of our players back. But the point is, we're holding down the fort quite nicely with people like Elvis Saric in the meantime, and waiting for those guys to come back. So it's all looking relatively good so far. I was thinking for the next game, we'll do Chamois, since it's a home game. I don't want to do Auxerre because it's too close and they're a bit low down the table. I don't want to go too far in because Clermont-Foot's a really tough one. I'm thinking the mid-table one there against Chamois would be a sort of good game to do for the next episode. So hopefully we'll have picked up a couple of wins in there. We've got Sochaux at home. That could be crucial. In fact, we've got Sochaux and Nantes, who are both down there. Those games, I'd like to try and see if we can take maybe 4 points from them. That would just be a solid amount for me. Anyway, if you guys like what you're saying, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Outcaster icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for what is going to be a relatively important match. Hopefully we'll be sort of stable in the league by then, sort of solidifying our place in mid-table, I'd like to hope. Although that's a sort of optimistic approach, I do expect us to fall away a little bit, sort of down to a sort of 14th, 15th place. Like comfortably clear of relegation, but not so clear. Comfortably clear of relegation, but within touch of that mid-table point, but not quite good enough just yet, because I think the injuries and the fact that we're coming from semi-pro to pro could hamper us a little bit. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next episode for the game against Chamois. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.